Happy morning. Happy Monday morning to you all. Hopefully, you all are having a great day and had a wonderful weekend. I am so excited to come to you guys and share my thoughts with you. And I know you're just as excited to hear from me. I know you've been missing me. It's been about 10 days since we last chatted. And I must say, we had a great chat. So I want to piggyback on the previous chat that we had. So the last time that we talked, we were in the middle of a government shutdown, and many people, millions of people, have been affected by the government shutdown. And some people are saying that we're close to being over the government shutdown. And I'm hearing that Donald Trump wants to peel off some of the proceeds of the tariff and give every American that's making under $100,000 a $2,000 check, or maybe it's hush money to pacify a lot of you all who have been crying and tearing at Donald Trump, literally, and wanting to tear off his toupee. So maybe this is to calm you down and give you a little bit of money to buy you some turkey and dressing. I don't know. But you know how people talk, and some people know what they're talking about, and some people just talking just to be talking. So don't hold me to it. I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what I heard, and I don't know if it's true or false. I just saw it several times posted on Facebook. So we'll see. I'll take my 2,000. I would prefer that he give us more. But if it's 2,000, I'll take it. It's some things I could do with 2,000. I'm not gonna grumble over the 2,000. Are y'all gonna grumble over the 2,000? I'm not. I'm gonna take my 2,000 and just go on about my business and be grateful because it's 2,000 more than what I had. That's the way I'm gonna look at it. But I would prefer more. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know when we're gonna get it. Don't ask me because I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. That's it. That's all. But I would like for it to come before Thanksgiving. That would be a real great gesture. And the timing of it would be perfect. Cause honey, yeah, I got some things to do. I got some things to do. And that would help me significantly. And Thanksgiving is going to be a lot different. It's going to hit different for a lot of people. I don't really celebrate it anyway. Thanksgiving is every day for me. I celebrate every day. I'm grateful every day. I give thanks every day. But for a lot of y'all that go all out for Thanksgiving with the big feast and the big, shebang, it's going to hit different for y'all. And a lot of people have already started killing themselves. The suicide rates already skyrocket around the holidays. Not that I'm an advocate of it, but I'm just saying. Um, yeah, they've already started. We saw recently the football player, Marshawn. What is his name? Marshawn, the 24-year-old that played for the Dallas Cowboys, shot himself in a porta potty. I can think of a lot of places that would be befitting to do that, but I just wouldn't. Would y'all shoot yourself in a porta potty? And Lord knows it was probably stinking in the porta potty. Most of the porta potties are never clean. I just wouldn't go out like that. That's what I'm saying. I could think of a lot of places to go out, but I just wouldn't go out in a porta potty, a nasty porta potty, in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, we're gonna do a video about that because I got some things to say about that. But yeah, that's an example of turning your back on God. Okay, and I have always heard that God will forgive us for everything except for self murder. And I don't know how true it is, but I just wouldn't take no chance with it. You only get one shot, literally. And, you know, Ain't no coming back from it. Once you kill yourself, you're done. You're gone. And you will have to face God and answer for that. And I just wouldn't take a chance on not being forgiven for that, you know. But I don't know what he was going through. I don't know if he left a suicide note, but I did hear that he was in a group family text and he told his family members goodbye. So you just never know what a lot of people are going through, even though he had seemingly the world in the palm of his hands. Financially, you know, he was living the dream of most 24-year-olds or even older people having been signed to the NFL. That's a dream of a lot of people, right? A lot of guys, especially. And I don't know how much they start him off financially, but I'm pretty sure he was having a pretty decent check and making more money than a lot of people are making, especially now during the shutdown, right? And I do know that he had reportedly lost his mom. I don't know um, what she died from, but I understand they were very, very close. And you know, grief affects a lot of people in a lot of ways. And during grief, you really, in my opinion, have to really be sure to be as close to God as possible. And for a lot of people, money is their God. Material things are their God. Social media is their God. Sex is their God. Another person is their God. And some people say that they are their own God. And you got to be very, very careful about that because God is a jealous God. And God is only God, all by himself. And I don't think he needs any help to be God. He's all powerful. And the worst thing that we can do, in my opinion, is to turn our backs on God. And right now, we are being tested. And a lot of people's backs are against the wall. And you got to have some God between your back and the wall, okay? Because it's a lot of pressure right here when you're between your back and the wall, okay? It's a lot of pressure right there. Okay, literally. And right now, a lot of people are being tested. Their faith is being tested. Their patience is being tested. And a lot of people are willing to compromise their principles, their beliefs, their values, their moral compass, and their sense of self is being challenged. And a lot of people are willing, especially women, they're willing to go ahead and negotiate that funky $40, okay, or less. Some of them are willing to go lower than the $40 because when you're hungry and your stomach is touching your back, I can imagine you willing to compromise and do a whole lot of things that you ordinarily would not do. And now, not only is the women, their stomach touching their back, they got kids whose stomach is touching their back. So you got a whole household of people who got stomachs that's touching their backs. And a lot of these women, they're willing to do a lot of things that they don't want to do, as well as the guys. And a lot of people are being met with this seducing spirit. Ask me how I know. A lot of people are being met with this seducing spirit. And you know, the seducing spirit is of the devil. And a lot of people who might be doing better in life and call themselves winning in life, they are out here scouring the streets and petitioning and recruiting, trying to recruit a lot of people who might be doing a little bit worse than them financially. A lot they're taking advantage of these people who may not be mentally astute. They may be on layoff. They might be furloughed. And they know a lot of these people are in a vulnerable moment right now. So a lot of these guys and women are taking advantage of a lot of these people with these seducing spirits. And they approaching a lot of these people and making, propositions, if you will. And a lot of these people, they may not be strong enough to resist these seducing spirits. And me, myself, I'm very familiar with these seducing spirits. And I can't stand a seducing spirits. It just makes me sick. And recently, I have been approached by a seducing spirit. And the red flag for me is when they just over the top nice. Oh, they're just spilling over with niceness. And they just want to do so much for you and just make your life so much better. And they're just so happy and oh, they're just bubbling over with happy. And I can tell fake happy from genuine happy. And when they just bubbling over with all that happy and niceness, it's a red flag and it makes me sick to my stomach. And God has been too good to me. I mean, he's brought me out of homelessness. And for me to turn around and accept this proposition from a seducing spirit attached to a man that may not even be sincere and mean me any good, I feel like I'm not only spitting in God's face, but I could possibly be turning my back on God. And all last night, it was like God was wrestling with me. And I could just literally see God all over this place, everywhere I turn. And it was like God was looking upside my head like he was saying, for real? After all that I have done for you, after where I have brought you, you gonna turn your back on me for a man? That may be tricking you with this seducing spirit. And it may not even last. And you gonna turn your back on me for a little pleasure and a little trickery. And I felt so bad and I felt convicted in my spirit. And that's a feeling that hits different when God is convicting you in your spirit and you know right from wrong. Everybody knows right from wrong unless you're retarded. Okay, unless you're retarded. Everybody knows right from wrong. And you're going to come to a place in the road where you're going to be met with some propositions. You're going to be met with some challenges. And you're going to have some decisions to make. Some of y'all might be going down this road in life during this, specifically during this shutdown, and you don't have any food stamps. It's been so many days now since you have had some food stamps, and you have been dependent on them food stamps, which is a very dangerous thing to do. Because I've been telling y'all for years, but you don't listen to me. I've been telling y'all for years that the government does not have an obligation to feed you. And that leads me to something that I seen yesterday on social media. And a lot of y'all probably seen it too. It was a white woman, and seemed like she done went viral for this. She been calling a lot of these churches, asking them to buy her baby some baby formula. And I got so mad about it. And I'm going to tell you why. It is not the church's responsibility to take care of you or your child, especially if you don't support the church, especially if you're not a member of the church. And for so long, so many people have felt compelled to use the church like a sugar daddy. And then you try to shame the church and manipulate them into trying to help. And if they don't help, you try to go out. Well, you're doing it anyway. You bash the church. You're bashing the church anyway. So what's the difference? In the church, a lot of them, I can't speak for the church, but some of them, I think, have gotten sick of these. They only want to use the church when it's convenient for them. Okay. But anyway, that's not the church's obligation to help this woman and her feed her baby. And I'm asking the question, why did she not maybe she did. Why did she not call her baby daddy? I can't stand that term. But anyway, why did she not call her baby daddy? She should have been calling her baby daddy before she called the church. Okay, let's say for instance, she disobeyed God and fornicated, and that's how she ended up with that baby. Okay, that's her fault. That's her fault for disobeying God. And now that is the common thing that's going on with a lot of these people that's on these food stamps. They have ended up on the food stamps and not able to provide for their children because they disobeyed God. Now the chickens have come home to roost. Now the rubber have met the road. Now accountability has come knocking at their door. Accountability has come. And now they realize, I should have listened to God. I should obey God's laws and commandments. Oh, or some of them might be mad because they feel like, oh, God, where's God? God done turned his back on me. No, 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 no. God did not turn his back on you. You turned your back on God. And that was a mistake that you made. So now God is probably saying, well, I need for y'all to come back to me. Because you've been out there in the world for so long, depending on the government, depending on these men, depending on these women, depending on your mama, depending on yourself. Because a lot of y'all say y'all self-made and you call yourself a god and you call yourself a bad bitch and all that right there. No, and you finding out now you're not a bad bitch. You just a bitch that's doing bad. Yeah. So now God wants you to see your circumstances and how much you need to develop a closer relationship with him. Because remember, God is a jealous God and he wants you to come back. So how else will he get you to come back and talk to him unless he allow the circumstances to get so dire and you'll have to remember him because all this stuff has been in the way and you have been distracted. You have been distracted, and as long as you was able to eat all these lobsters and potatoes and steaks and oysters and do your thing, you didn't even think about God. So now that he's allowed Donald Trump and all these other people to shut it down, your means of eating like you've been eating, when you want to eat, and this, that, and the other. Now you got time to lay around and your stomach is growling and you remember God. Now you remember God, don't you? Some of you. Some of you gonna remember God. And you're gonna start praying to God and praying hard and heavy. And you want God to hear your cry. You want God to hear your grumbling stomach and answer your prayers. Yeah. How else? How else is God gonna get your attention unless he allow the circumstances to get so tough that you will fall down on your knees and cry out to God and pray. You ain't been having time to pray. You ain't been wanting to pray. So now that he's allowed the government to shut down and shut you down and shut you up and quiet all the voices around you. Because, a lot of people ain't going to answer your phone call when you're doing bad and you're begging. They're not going to answer your phone call. So now your phone is dry. It's quiet. Ain't nobody calling you. They not answering your calls. Your calls going straight to voicemail. They not answering your text messages. They not answering your emails. You go and knock on their doors. They playing like they not at home. A lot of these businesses is not answering your phone call. You knock on their door. They not answering their door either. So now it's just you and God. That's it. That's all. And see, God is a God unlike man. He's a God that keeps his promises to his covenant people. And see, a lot of y'all didn't believe in God. You've been atheists. You said there wasn't no such thing as God. You didn't believe in Jesus. You didn't believe in the church. You've been bashing the church. You've been bashing the preacher. But look how you're lining up going to the churches now. You running down to the churches, going to every church you can find, trying to get some food from the food pantry. And how many times have you gotten your food stamps? Did you ever go take some food to the church? Did you ever consider, oh, the church, they probably need some help. Let me go over there and help them out and clean up or volunteer and do this and do that. And seem like it's been so much pressure on the pastor. Let me go over there and help the pastor out. No, no, no. Y'all been driving past the church. Y'all ain't been thinking about the church. When you get your food stamps, when you get your income tax money, this, that, and the other, you ain't been thinking about the church. A lot of people only think about the church when they need something. When they need something, then they feel compelled to use the church. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. And see, if it was the other way around and the church used the people, y'all would have something to say about that. Yeah. So how do you feel about God feeling like you using him as a sugar daddy? You only talk to him when you need something. You only come to God when you need something. Now, during these last couple of weeks of this government shutdown, I can imagine it's been so many people coming to God, and the prayer line has been bagged up with so many people moaning and groaning, they stomach growling, and they just crying out to God. Please, God. Please, God. Help me, God. Help me, God. Please, God. Help me. I mean, God probably ain't never heard from these folks in so long, and now they coming in droves. They coming in droves. They coming back to God. That's what he want. God wants to get y'all to come to him, and you need to be sincere. Don't come just because you need him. Come because you want him. He wants you to come voluntarily. He's not going to force you to come. He wants you to come on your own and come for real. And don't come for just a little while till you get what you want. Then you go back out into the world and forget about him and turn your back against him again. No, no, no. He wants you to come for real and be sincere and develop a close relationship with him. He want to hear from you. You talk to everybody on social media. You talking all day long at your job. You talking to these men. You talking to these women. You talking. That's all a lot of people do. Just talk all day to everybody else but God. Because you done turn your back on God. And that's a dangerous thing to do, is turn your back on God. But the beautiful thing about it, God ain't gonna never turn his back on us. But don't take it for granted, okay? Don't take it for granted. But did y'all see the viral video about a week or so ago of the long line at the church in Memphis? I think the church is Greater Community Temple Church. They do this every year, I'm told. The pastor is Brandon P. Porter, I think it is. And they have the Christmas in November. And it's a wonderful thing. I was wondering why so many people was in the line. It was a long line. The line was as long as me and Rick Ross's titties. And speaking of Rick Ross, did y'all see he bought some new teeth? He had already bought some teeth. And He bought some new teeth, and they supposed to be made out of diamond cuts or something. I said he gonna buy everything but a bra. He buys cars, he buys trucks, he buys motorcycles, he buys houses, he buys restaurants, he buys this, he buys women, he buys that. He buys everything but a bra. But anyway, I think his mama and his sister is in Memphis, and they have some restaurants in Memphis. As if they need to have some fitness clubs. Okay, all of them, in my opinion, got big backs and long titties. But anyway, you would think Rick Ross, he already got a restaurant. Seemed like he might have. I just don't know about it. But seemed like him and his mom and all them, they would be trying to feed the people in the streets, his fans. Not only him, but a lot of these other celebrities in Memphis and all over the United States. Here it is, they fans are going hungry. And you don't hear none of the fans, Cardi B, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Chris Brown. He been having a breezy bowl, but now his fans can't even afford a chili bowl. Where are the celebrities and all this money they've been throwing up all over the place, putting money, stacks of money? Jay Z, Beyonce, where you at? They've been having stacks of money all on their ear, all on the floor. Now your fans need some help. They hungry. They need all that money y'all been throwing away. Where are the celebrities? I ain't heard from none of them saying that they concerned about their fans being hungry and the babies and everything. Have y'all heard from the celebrities? I ain't heard from none of them. They seem to not even give a damn about their fans being hungry. That's a damn shame. But anyway, um, yeah. I think it's crazy how so many people lined up to go to that church in Memphis. They had suitcases. And I was wondering, why are they bringing all these suitcases? Great big old luggage. And I found out the church was giving out all kind of food, all kind of steaks and meat and furniture and clothes and toys and this and that. Oh, they gave away so much stuff. And I thought it was a wonderful thing, but at the same time, I just think it's a shame that people only come to church when they get something for free. And you know the line was full of niggas, because niggas love to get free shit. They love free shit, but they don't like to give back. They don't like to give back. They just like to take like a sponge, soak it up, sponge. And yeah, a lot of them people probably ain't never been to church, probably don't go to church, and they probably don't support the church, probably bash the pastor. But look at them in the line. A lot of them was in the line probably overnight. They probably stayed in the line overnight. But they will not get in them lines like that to go apply for a job. I just don't understand it. They will not stand in line to go to church for to praise God and do commit the service to God, but they're standing in long line when it comes to something free. I think it's crazy. And I said, now where is this energy when it's time to apply for a job? And a lot of them, they pretend like, oh, it ain't no jobs. It ain't no jobs. It's hard out here. I can't get no job. Listen, it may not be the job that you want, but it might be the job that you need. A little money is better than no money at all. This is not the time to be picky. Okay, if you got a PhD, a college degree, and you used to making $100,000 or more a year, you might need to humble yourself right now. Okay? And take that job that pays $7 an hour or $10 an hour or $13 an hour or $15 an hour. Okay? You may not be able to make 40 hours a week. You might get 20 hours a week or 10. Okay, whatever the case may be, it's enough to get you a little gas and a sandwich. Okay? And take that until you can do better. Okay, this is not the time to be picky. Okay, a lot of people are going to have to humble themselves right now. And maybe that's a good thing because a lot of people have been too high on their horse. They've been having such high standards. Okay, so you might not be able to get your lashes done right now. You may not be able to get that $1,000 wig every week and get your bundles every week and get your nails done and get this and get that. You might have been driving a $300,000 or $100,000 car. You might need to go pawn the car or sell the car and trade it in for a car that you can afford right now. You might have to drive a hoopter. You might have to get on the bus. Okay? What I'm trying to say to you is you are probably going to have to humble yourself. Okay? And a lot of people are not going to be able to do that because of, their pride. This is not the time to have a lot of pride. Okay? And a lot of people, I just thank God for the struggle. I thank God for the struggle because the struggle has helped to shape me and make me into the strong black woman that I am today. I just thank God. It's a benefit in being poor and being raised poor and born poor. A lot of y'all want to pretend like you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But that's not the case with everybody, and I'm not ashamed to say I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born in the struggle. My family was poor, and I didn't even know that we was poor until I was like a teenager because my mother, my wonderful mother, made sure that we had everything we needed, and she had to sacrifice so much of herself and work 2 and 3 jobs. And a lot of y'all nowadays, y'all scam and lie on your application. You rely on the government for food stamps and you sell a lot of your food stamps and blah, 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 blah. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of y'all modern women and men, you've been spoiled. You have been spoiled rotten. And now that you can't get what you want, you out here throwing tantrums. You out here throwing tantrums and you want to give up on life and oh, you just want to turn your back on God and give up and talk so reckless. I've been hearing y'all and seeing y'all all over the internet just talking so reckless. And you got to be careful about how you use your tongue. Because you can say and do some things that you cannot take back. Okay? So, even under pressure, let's be very mindful on how we use our tongue. Okay? Because God is listening and God is everywhere. Even if you don't believe in God, that ain't got nothing to do with God not holding you accountable for the words that you speak. Okay? So let's be mindful about that, even under pressure. Even if you're mad and upset and you want them food stamps to come on and come on right now, you're going to have to develop some patience, okay? And a lot of y'all, let's talk about this. A lot of y'all, you act like, oh, I can't stand this generation of food stamps recipients. You know why? Because a lot of them act so bougie. It's a lot of bougie hood rats nowadays. These modern hood rats that's getting these food stamps, they so bougie. They want to act like they so high class, like they don't remember eating pork chops. When was the last time you heard a hood rat say, "Oh, I sure got a taste for some pork chops"? No, 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 no. Ever since they got a taste of lamb chops on their tongue, oh, they've been acting so high class and acting like they've been eating lamb chops all along, all their life. No, 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 no. They act like they don't remember eating ramen noodles, beans out of a can, pork and beans, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, mayonnaise sandwiches, tea cakes, peanut butter cookies. They act like they don't remember drinking Kool-Aid. Now that they don't got a taste of wine, they act like they don't remember drinking Budweiser, Coke 45, Michelob. Woo! I can't stand a bougie hood rat. Oh my God. The reality TV shows and these rappers have ruined these hood rats because they try to mock everything, the lifestyle, everything they see the rappers and the reality TV stars. See, those are the influencers. They have influenced these hood rats, these regular street hood rats, into thinking that they are bougie too. And the reality is, a lot of these rappers ain't really living the life that they portray on TV and in their music. Okay, a lot of these reality TV stars are not really living the lifestyle that they portray on TV. But because they are influencers and they have influenced these regular hood rats, it's like the hood rats are drunk under the influence. So now they have abandon their real reality and how they used to live and how they used to eat. Now they feel like they are entitled to live a rich life, even though the motherfuckers are poor, okay, and dusty, and just clinging on to the government's titty for dear life, even though they really don't have it like that. They really, in their mind, under their delusion and confusion is a hell of a drug, okay? They are under the spirit of delusion and confusion. And they feel like they are entitled to eat lamb chops every day, not occasionally, not every blue moon, but they feel like they should eat lamb chops, steaks, and lobster, potatoes, have a rich diet on their palate every day, eating rich cheesecake for dessert, peach cobbler, going to these restaurants and having wine to wash it all down with. Oh, they done get spoiled. They done get spoiled. Have we seen the videos countless of times when they go live in the grocery store and have 3 and 4 baskets in a big wide bag and bragging on living and eating way better than the average working person? That should never have been going on anyway. Okay, that should never have been going on anyway. And laying around with no job and eating better than a working person, that should never have been going on. And they have gotten accustomed to living like that and not having to be responsible and smoking dope all day and all night. And the dope must be real cheap because they can get it whenever they want it. And if you ask me, if you can get dope whenever you want it, you should be able to get your own food. Okay. If you can smoke dope all day, you can go to work all day. Okay. If you can fight and twerk and cut up in the street all day whenever you want to, you should be able to go to work whenever you want to all day. Okay, I'm sick of them, and I don't have no compassion. I don't have no mercy on none of them. If they able-bodied, they need to get their able-bodied ass out there and go to work. Okay, stop relying on the government. Stop relying on the government. And you say you can't stand the white man. He's racist. Why do you want a racist to feed you? Why do you want a racist food stamp card? Huh? Give him his food back. Give him his food stamp card back. Give him his a Section 8 housing back. Give everything back to the racist white man and go out there and do what it takes to provide for yourself, you and your own household, and provide for your children. Those are your children. The government did not have sex with you and get them children. You did that. And I just find it so hypocritical and crazy to see some of these niggas online talking all this cash money shit about the government and the white man on the white man's internet, talking shit about the white man, but then you begging from the white man. You ain't built nothing of your own, and you relying on the government. Make it make sense. It's one particular YouTuber, he do it every day. Every day. Sit on the white man's internet talking shit about the white man and begging from the white man to feed you. You eating out of the white man's hand. You ain't building nothing. You ain't growing no food. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. They want to talk shit about the white man, but then you want the white man to feed you. Make it make sense, somebody, anybody, please. But anyway, they claim that they kings and queens and they ancestors. They love to talk about what their ancestors did, but what have they did? What have they built? What have they provided? Huh? They ain't did a damn thing but smoke dope. That's the only thing that I can see that they have done, and caused a whole lot of chaos and confusion. That's not an accomplishment, okay? That's an embarrassment. But the way that I see it, if you and your ancestors, if you want to say that your ancestors did all of this, why are you not finishing the work that your ancestors started? If you want to claim that you just like your ancestors, why are you not doing what your ancestors did? Your ancestors had gardens. A lot of y'all got plenty of land. You got houses you brag about. You got your great big old house and all this big yard. Why you not growing your own food? Why you don't have cows and horses and pigs and goats and creating jobs for your people? You love to talk about your people, your people. Why are you not providing jobs for your people? Why are you not providing food? Why are you not growing your own food? You claim to know all about the horoscopes, the moons and the stars, and you claim to be kings and queens and goddesses. Why are you not creating nothing for yourself? You say you're a creator, a content creator. Why are you not creating content as it relates to growing your own food and creating jobs and creating this and creating that? Instead of creating confusion and chaos and a whole lot of hell from the hellhounds. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I need y'all to make it make sense. That's what I need. I need for y'all to make it make sense. But yeah. So during times like these, times are hard, groceries are few. It's really, really tough out here, and it's very scary for a lot of people because they've never been hungry before. Because all their life, they've been having these food stamps. They've been having people to do for them. Everything been done for them. They ain't never had to work. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, their food stamp privileges get snatched. And they caught out here not being educated because they've been playing and skipping school, and their mama and daddy didn't hold them accountable, didn't make them go to school. They don't know how to really read and write. They don't have proper grammar. Look how they write on and type on Facebook and on YouTube. How you gonna be a troll and you dumb as hell, don't even know how to put a sentence together? Okay, one thing about me, I can't stand a dumbass troll. If you're gonna talk shit to me, at least talk with sufficient proper English. Okay, I need to understand what you're talking about and what you're saying in order for me to clap back properly. Okay, and I'm gonna clap back most of the time. And I need you to be an educated troll. I can't stand to engage with a dumbass troll. Okay, but anyway, now what I'm trying to say to you, now that you have not been paying attention in school, you didn't go to school, you don't know how to read and write, you don't know how to fill out a job application to get a job, to feed yourself and feed your children, and this and that and the other, and then you didn't even have no standards when it came to procreating with a man or a woman, and you done got together and had sex with a dumb motherfucker, and y'all done had some ugly ass children and you can't even feed them ugly motherfuckers. Now you looking around and you need some help. You need some help. You looking around, you wonder where's my help. And I've been seeing the hood rats walking around crying. The other day I seen one walking around crying, holding her baby, crying, wiping away her tears. And I said, I know what's going on. The dude that was laying up in the house with her, he probably gone. He done found Shanika. She probably got a job over at the warehouse somewhere. Or she working at Popeyes. He done got out of that house because ain't no food coming in no more. She probably had a food stamp card and she was able to feed his big rusty, dusty loser ass. And now that she don't have them food stamps anymore, he going on to another hood rat who probably got a little job at a fast food restaurant or a warehouse where he can lay up and put his feet. He can, in other words, he can transfer them ashy ankles from one coffee table to another. Yes, it's a lot of that going on. And now a lot of these hood rat females, they find themselves in their Section 8 dwelling all by themselves. The dude who was living off of the hood rat all along and only providing dingaling, now he's not going to stay there with her. He's not going to go out there and get a job because he ain't never had to get a job. He left his mama, who was taking care of him more than likely, and he left her house and came over to these female house, and he didn't have to give her number dingaling. And that's what he always gonna give. He ain't gonna give nothing else but dingaling. That's it. That's all. And that's the hood rat, the female hood rat's fault, because that's all she require. That's all she requires. She don't require him to be a working man, a working class man. He don't have to be a man at all. He can just be garbage and give garbage ass dingaling. And that's gonna satisfy the female. And now he can't even give that. He can't even give that. He not even gonna give her that. Okay? That's all he gonna give these females to eat. As far as groceries go, you can forget it. You can forget it. He don't give a damn if your stomach is growling and touching your fucking back. He don't give a damn. He gonna take care of himself. He's all about self-preservation. Okay? And as soon as he heard about their food stamps had got cut off, he was gone at that point. He wasn't gonna wait around. So now a lot of these females, they find themselves all by themselves. And they ain't been praying to God. They ain't been trying to focus on God and develop a closer relationship with God. And now they looking for that old man that's getting a social security check. That old man that's probably getting a pension that she can try to trick and make a fool out of. Ain't none of them around. Most of them dead. And now she looking around. She don't have Junebug. She don't have Ray Ray. Not even the dope dude. The dude that's selling dope. He out of business because his customers are out of business. A lot of them are out of jobs. A lot of them can't sell their food stamps to get drugs no more. So not only is the working class people not having a lot of money, a lot of the drug dealers, Keisha and Shanika, them can't even go get them no dope. Cause the dope dealer, he doing bad too. I can imagine. But thank God, thank God, I have not been on drugs. I don't want to be on drugs. And so many people have tried to get me to get on drugs. And I just keep on saying no, no, no. Nancy Reagan, God bless her soul, she's dead and gone now. But she taught me, as well as my mom and my teachers and people in the community and God, to say no. And that was 20 some years ago, maybe 30, maybe 35. And I still say no to drugs. And I'm always going to say no to drugs. Okay? I just wouldn't be a good drug user. I just wouldn't be a good drug junkie at all, cause I like food too much, and I am not willing to sacrifice a little money that I get for some drugs, some fucking drugs, and I damn sure ain't finna suck no dick for no drugs. I'm not doing it. Look at these lips. These lips are not, they juicy, they real juicy. But I just refuse to use these lips to suck on somebody for some drugs or whatever else. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. I just wouldn't make a good dick sucker. And I wouldn't make a good drug junkie. I just got too many other things to do other than sit around and smoke dope. I just got too many other things to do. And look like it takes so long to smoke dope. And then I see some people sharing the joint. I got a big thing about that. I don't even like to drink behind other people. You think I'm finna smoke dope with somebody and let somebody else put their lips on my joint? Hell no. Especially with COVID and all that's going on, and people real nasty, do nasty things with their mouth. Mm-mm. I would never make a good drug junkie. I wouldn't make one. But some people have signed up for that. And now they are faced with the decision. Do they eat the marijuana or do they smoke it? That's a big decision to make. Do you eat it or do you smoke it? Some people are still out here fucking around with drugs. And they some stupid motherfuckers. Here you are hungry and your stomach is touching your back and your back is against the wall and you still out here looking for drugs? You are a stupid motherfucker if I ever seen one. Okay, what else do you call that? What else do you call it? And I'm smelling the drugs at my job and they punishing me for reporting the drugs. And the drug dealers and the drug smokers, they don't get no write up. They don't get no reprimand. But I get the reprimand for reporting the shit. We'll talk about that another time. And then my neighbor, right in this area, I smell the marijuana right in this area. And unlike the past, I wouldn't dare report them. I'm just gonna let God deal with them. And life is kicking these drug junkies ass. Okay, I'm just gonna let life and God deal with these drug junkies. I wouldn't dare say nothing about them, cause the other reason why I'm not gonna say nothing and report them, cause I'm so grateful to be out of that car. I'm so grateful to not be homeless anymore. And I'm going to just use this time wisely to focus on getting my credit better, establish better credit, and focus on getting my own home, being a homeowner. So I don't give a damn about them drug junkies. I don't give a damn about them. I'm just going, where is it? I'm just going to spray my deodorizer. This smells real good. This video is brought to us by our unofficial sponsor, Febreze, baby. And this is the whipped warm sugar shea butter version. Baby, I just spray and keep on going. I just spray and keep on going. I gotta focus. I cannot be stressed out by somebody that want to waste their life on drugs. I refuse. Baby, did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? You gotta realize what's important in life. And right now, that's not important. Them drug junkies and all that marijuana smell. And I just thank God that I only smell it right in here, right in this area during certain times. And I just thank God it's not saturated. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, because you know the devil is so nosy and he be listening and eavesdropping. And soon as I say certain things, you know how he do. He's a dirty motherfucker. So anyway, yeah, even during these challenging times, it's still some people out here fucking around with drugs. and not prioritizing their life. Okay, if you have been wasting your money on drugs, just think about all that money that you wasted on drugs, and you need that money now to buy some chicken, bologna sandwiches, hot dogs, whatever the case may be. All that money that you wasted on alcohol, you need it. You've been down at the bar. Every time you thought about it, you went down to the bar drinking alcohol. All the times you went to the club, wasting all that money on the clubs, throwing money at the strip club on them naked girls. Now you need that money. Now you need it, and you don't have it. So now God has a way of turning things around and placing your focus on where it should be. Now God has a way of turning everything around in his favor. He gonna turn around in his favor anyway. It's always in his favor. Okay. But the point I'm trying to make to you, you've been out here just dancing and prancing and having a so-called good time. And now you realize that time wasn't good at all. Now it's back in perspective. You've been wasting a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and now you need it. And you don't have it. Now, you got to turn around and go back to where you should have been all along, in the presence of God. God, have mercy on me. God, please help me. Please, God, restore my strength. Because a lot of y'all losing your strength. Because you've been crying all night long. And all that crying, it takes away your strength. It takes a lot of strength to cry all night. And now you got to go back to God. But some of y'all going to turn your back on God because you're going to go out there prostituting to try to get you something to eat. Now, a lot of y'all men, you've been thinking about it anyway. Now, you're going to go ahead and answer that inbox from that other man who been asking you if he can fuck you in the ass or he can put his dick in your mouth. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't let myself get that hungry as a man to go ahead and give in and surrender and fuck another man. I just wouldn't let myself get that hungry. Go to the food pantry. Go to the food pantry before you give in. Okay? Please don't do that. If you're a man and you're thinking about it, it's been a lot of men trying to hit you up and want to fuck you in the ass. Don't let yourself get that hungry. Don't walk. Run to the food pantry. Please. Don't let yourself get that hungry as a man that you'll let another man fucking ask for a bologna sandwich. Okay? Or a chicken dinner. Please don't let yourself get that hungry. And speaking of the food pantry, I don't have that kind of pride. I went to the food pantry the other day. And guess what? I'm going to go to it again. Ain't no such thing as too much food. You got to stock up. Right now because we don't never know when the other shoe going to drop. Okay? So I'm trying to get as much food as I can to keep my back big. I don't want it to get any bigger, but I want to keep my back big. Okay? For now. And I did go to the food pantry. I'm not ashamed to say I went to the food pantry. Listen to me. I went to the food pantry. And guess what? I'm gonna go again. Yes. And let me tell you what I found out at the food pantry. A lot of people seem like they had that certain look in their eye. Seem like they had a more humble spirit. Now, I don't know these people, but seemed like the spirit that was upon them was more humble. It seemed like a lot of them felt so grateful to get some help. And there was so many people. Some of them was black, some of them was white. I didn't see no Chinese. It looked like the Chinese doing pretty good. They take care of their own. And I didn't see no Indian. I didn't see no Mexicans in there. They do pretty good. They take care of each other. But I see mostly blacks and a few whites. And they had such a somber spirit. They were so friendly and seemed to be just so full of gratefulness. And they were just fellowshipping and talking to each other. And I even met a woman. She was an older woman. We talked and we had a lot of camaraderie going on. And all of them just seemed like they was just just in dire straits. And they gave out some pretty good groceries, but I'm just gonna be honest. Now, let me say this: I don't believe that all food pantries are created equal. What I mean by that is some food pantries, they seem to give out the same stuff because I've been to quite a few over the years. And some of them, they give you a little bit more than what the other food pantries will give. And one thing that I have noticed different nowadays about the food pantries is they don't want to be open every day because I guess the demand is greater nowadays. So they got to stock up and restock in order to meet the demand. Okay? So now they might tell you, well, they only do it every second Saturday of the month, every month, or they might do it only once on a Thursday of every month, or every second Thursday, or something like that. It's real different now, because so many people are begging. And some of these people, they beg from one church to the other. They never go to church. They never support the church. They always bashing the pastor, like I said. But they want the pastor stuff. They want to bash the church, but then they want to turn around and beg from the church. Make that make sense. But anyway, yeah. So some of the churches, they might give out toiletries, a little tissue, a little sanitary product for the women, such as maxi pads or tampons. They might give you a few diapers for your babies. Or some churches, they might give you fresh fruit, or, a couple of canned goods. Some of them might even give you a whole chicken, or some beef, or some sandwiches, or whatever the case may be. But most of them, the standard staple in a food box or bag is, the macaroni and cheese in the box, some pinto beans, a bag of rice, spaghetti, a box of spaghetti, spaghetti sauce, maybe a salad in the bag or something like that. That's the standard. Some churches, especially in the rich white people neighborhood, they might give you a little bit more because they can afford to give you more. And, they have more of in my opinion, they seem to have more of a generous spirit in the rich white people neighborhood. They so rich and they probably feel so bad for withholding and stealing a lot of land and using a lot of black people and stealing a lot of their recipes to start their restaurants like KFC and blah blah blah. So they feel bad. That's why a lot of them, I think, be tending to adopt a lot of black kids, like Madonna, the singer. A lot of them, they adopt these black kids because that's their form of reparations. They feel bad for, misusing blacks. So they be real generous, especially during the holidays. They'll give you lots of money. A lot of the homeless people, they'll give them a lot of money and this, that, and the other. So, there's a benefit to it in so many ways. But yeah, I really enjoyed the generosity of the food pantry. So a lot of the food pantries are really overwhelmed right now. So if you can give and volunteer your time and money and, canned goods, I would really strongly recommend that and encourage that. And just don't be a taker. give back when you can. Don't just go up there taking all the people food and never give back. You can um volunteer to clean up around the church. You can take out the trash. You can do all kind of things. There's so many things. There's so much work to be done around the church. Okay, so don't just go up there begging for food. Okay, go and help. And that, I'm so glad I thought about this. Yes, I almost forgot about this. During times like these, we really need some help, right? A lot of these heathens, these garbage ass heathens, have killed the help. Like Young Dolph, the rapper. You remember the rapper, the Memphis rapper, Young Dolph? He, during a time like this, he would be out there having so many 18 wheelers full of food, helping. He was always a beautiful spirit that help. Every chance he got, he was willing to help. And this is November. Remember, this is the month that he would always have the turkey drive. That was the month that got when he got killed, because the killers, they was lurking and stalking his location and whereabouts. So they found out that he was having a turkey drive in Memphis, and they seized the opportunity to kill him. Think about it. Just like Mo 3, I heard that he was a giver too. They kill all the people that's helping in the community, and then the garbage ass heathens that don't do nothing for the community, they let them live. They let them live and just brag and boast and show their money all over social media, and they're not gonna do a damn thing to help feed these hungry ass people. And I think that's a shame that they kill the help, such as Young Dolph. They killed him, and he would have been out here giving all kind of food, bags and bags of food and diapers and this, that, and the other. Probably throwing out money, all in the community. Now they done kill the help. What are they gonna do? And they don't want to turn to God. But this is a great opportunity to turn to God. This is a great opportunity to turn to God. And the last thing that you want to do is turn your back on God and go out there and prostitute and try to sell drugs and risk going to jail, making your situation worse. Okay, if you ain't got no money for food, how you gonna have money for a lawyer? If you get caught selling drugs or prostituting or whatever the case may be, whatever illegal thing you try to do, and you don't want to go in that grocery store stealing because them police is ready for you. Some of them are dressed in a uniform, and some of them are undercover wearing a plain clothes, and they see you. They got all them cameras everywhere. They watching you. The other day I was in Target, and child, I think, I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, but I think they tried to uh label me as a possible thief. And the last thing I'm gonna do, even if I was really in dire straits, I'm not gonna go steal no food now. I'm not doing it. I'm not even gonna go in the store if I don't have money to pay for the stuff. But I guess I got that look. Whatever that look is, I guess I got that look, and they don't trust nobody right now. They don't trust nobody. And then I fit the profile. I'm black, and that's enough. That's enough. They think all black people steal. Even though Christopher Columbus, who I think was a white man, he stole a whole country. And look at his predecessors. They've been stealing too, but they steal and get away with it. But anyway, the last thing I'm gonna do is steal, okay? And child, the employees, they came rushing over there to me while I was in the grocery area in Target, and just watching me, or maybe it was my imagination, but I think they was really watching me, trying to make sure I wasn't gonna steal. And I had that great big old purse. You know, I carry big purses, big bags, because I got a big back. I'm a big black woman. So, child, I said, this is a shame. I can't even shop for groceries in peace. Ooh, they was applying a lot of pressure on me. They was trying to make sure I didn't steal nothing. And that wasn't even on my mind. I wasn't even thinking about stealing. But they gonna try to scrutinize everybody right now because so many people been online threatening to go in the grocery stores and steal. But I can assure you that I'm not gonna steal. But you can't take people's word for it. The ones that say that they not gonna steal, cause action. You can't rely on the people's words. Action, okay. So I'm pretty sure they followed me with their eyes and their cameras all over this stuff. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. So don't be alarmed if the people watching you and scrutinizing you more than ever when you go in the grocery store now, because they don't trust nobody right now because so many people are stealing. They really are. And they were stealing before they got their food stamps halted. So you can imagine they're going to steal even more, so they don't know who is who. So I'm hearing that this is costing the government shutdown and the food stamps being halted, because a lot of these stores, they make lots of money from the food stamps. Okay. And this is costing, I'm hearing it's costing a lot of stores a lot of money. So we can look forward to a lot of these grocery stores going out of business, because between the stealing, the losses that they're taking from the stealing, and the revenue that they losing out on, they're not gonna be able to stay afloat. And I don't know if Donald Trump is gonna be able to, give them money like he did back in 2020. And even the money that a lot of these businesses got back in 2020, they was greedy and it acted like that wasn't enough. Whew. But anyway, these are hard times, and we're facing a lot of uncertainty, right? So we got to be sure not to turn our backs against God, okay? Let me read some of y'all's comments. I see a lot of y'all are talking to me, so let me read your comments, and I'll continue with my commentary before I have to end it, because I got a lot of errands to run today. Okay, who's this? This is Chili. Chill says stealing and not getting locked up. Who is not getting locked up? Some of them are getting locked up, and some of them not. Some of them getting away with it because they so good at stealing, and they've been stealing all their life. And they use a lot of them babies and them baby buggies to do a lot of their stealing. They come in the store with them baby buggies and the blankets, and they slide a pack of hamburger meat up under the baby and put it in the baby's diaper and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, a lot of them been stealing all their life. So some of them probably ain't gonna get caught, but some of them are. And I think it's a shame. And I know things happen, but I think it's a shame if you open your legs and voluntarily bring children into the world and you can't feed them, and you have to steal baby formula, baby milk, baby diapers, and so on and so forth. If you cannot afford, that's why I don't have any. If you cannot afford children, keep your legs closed. But those are the same people, they keep opening their legs wide as they can get them. And they keep on fucking raw and not giving a damn about the outcome. You're gonna have to take care of the children, not just one time, but every time for 18 plus years. That's a long time to have to hold a job or hold your own as it relates to being independent. And some of these independent women, they've been faking like they're independent. And one thing about this government shutdown, It has exposed the hell out of these fake independent women, these fake bad bitches, these fake kings and queens. Ooh, they been exposed big time. And I love it. Because I knew they were fake all along. I knew they were fake. And now we see that a lot of them are not real bad bitches. They just bitches that's doing bad. They not real kings and queens. They not real independent women. I love it. I love it. I knew they were frauds. And now they have been revealed as frauds. Yes. But anyway, um, I believe God has allowed this government shutdown to happen to not only reveal these fake ass queens and kings and fake ass independent women and whatever else they call themselves, but to make them see and realize what's more important in life. Okay, because as long as they had their food stamp card and all of these other things, they wasn't thinking about God. They was not thinking about God. God was the furthest thing from their mind. And as long as they could get what they wanted, their mind was not on God. So God allowed a lot of this stuff to be removed and halted and taken away. So now they can get closer to God. They can cling closer to God and rely on Him instead of relying on that food stamp card. They can rely on God instead of relying on that Section 8 voucher. Because a lot of them, they done made that EBT card they God. A lot of them have made that Section 8 voucher they God. A lot of them, you get my point, don't you? You get my point. And God say, no, He's a jealous God. He will not let you put that EBT SNAP card before Him. He's a jealous God. He will not let you put that Section 8 voucher before Him. He's supreme. He's the one and only God, the true and living God. So now you got to rely on God. But some of these people, they still gonna try to turn their back on God the first chance they get. As soon as they get what they want, they gonna turn their back on God. And God knows this because He's all knowing. Okay, He know everything even before we even do it. Even before we contemplate it. He know what we're gonna do. When we're gonna do it, how we're gonna do it, how long we're gonna do it. You cannot outsmart God. Even though a lot of y'all try to be so slick, you can't scam God. You can't lie to God. He knows that you're going to turn your back on Him. So that's why He said a little bit longer. Let the government stay shut down a little bit longer. They ain't learned their lesson. Okay? They not being sincere. They only talking to me because they need something. As soon as they get what they want, they going to turn it back on me again. That's probably what He's saying. And He know that's what you're going to do. So that's why He allowing the shutdown to stay shut down. And He going to open it up when He get ready. Not when you get ready. And you can cry all you want to. You can pray all you want to. He know that your prayers is not sincere. Okay, you got to be sincere. And not just one person, everybody. Everybody. And then the ones that's working, I've been hearing y'all. I heard y'all yesterday on social media on somebody's live. Somebody had the nerve to say, even during the shutdown, I'm still winning. What you winning? What's the prize? A couple of more sandwiches than everybody else? A couple of more steaks and potatoes than everybody else? Don't get so cocky. Don't be so quick to be so cocky and claim that you're winning. Because it's these other people today, it could be you tomorrow. Tomorrow, your job could say, oh, we shut down. We closing for business. Then what you going to do? Even if you stacking up all this money and all this food, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. What if the doctor tell you got cancer, or your wife or your husband got cancer, and then you're gonna have to spend all that money on doctor visits and doctor this and medical equipment and whatever the case may be. Okay, so don't be so quick to think that you so comfortable and confident and this and that because you still working a good job and you got a hustle on the side and you got all this food in your refrigerator and all in your cabinets and you riding good and your garage is full of vehicles and this that. Life can come at you fast and you don't never know what's going to happen to you or your family members. And you may not be able to depend on your friends. So a lot of people, even the ones that's got a lot of this and got a lot of that, they real stingy and they don't want to help their neighbor. They don't want to help their family member. They don't want to help their friends. Don't think that it can't happen to you. Even if you got a lot, something can happen to you in another way. Okay? And you just got to be very careful about gloating and bragging and boasting. Okay? Because life can come at you real, real fast. Okay? So, right now is a good time to take notes. Okay? Instead of thinking that it's only them. It's only the people that's furloughed. It's only the people that shut down. It's only the people that's not getting their food stamps and snaps and EBT and Section 8 and all that. No, no, no. You could easily have your turn. Okay? So don't be so quick to think that you so high and mighty and things is always gonna be well with you. Cause it might not hit your pockets or your bank account or your job. It might hit your health. Okay. So anyway, this is a good time, in my opinion, to put down the drugs. If you're on drugs, you're drug addicted, this is a good time to quit. Okay, this is a real good time to quit drugs because you need that money to buy you some food and do other things. Okay, and a lot of y'all been on drugs too long anyway. This is a good time to quit drugs. I would highly recommend that you stop drinking alcohol. That's a lot of money right there you could be saving. Think about it. Think about it. Some of y'all stop by the liquor store every day, and you get that high expensive. You got expensive taste in alcohol. You want to get the top shelf. I don't know how much it costs, but I'm pretty sure all that stuff in that store is expensive. Okay, because I never been an alcoholic. I never drank alcohol except to taste it a little bit. And I didn't even like it, thank God. I don't like drugs. I don't like alcohol, but I love some good, juicy, hot fried chicken. And that's still a habit that we need to break, okay? Especially with being diabetic. Okay, we got a lot of vices that we need to abandon, and right now is a good time to abandon these vices that's unhealthy and expensive for us. And ripping and running the streets, this is a good time to stop ripping and running the streets. That's a lot of gas that you could be saving and using for food. Not just right now, but later on. We got a lot of rainy days ahead, okay? So if you don't have nothing saved, this is a good time to start saving. Getting on these flights, them plane tickets cost a lot of money. Okay, it's time to go somewhere and sit down, especially with a lot of the airline. They are announcing, they've been all over TikTok telling us that a lot of people are not showing up for work. They on strike. They're not announcing it, but they on strike by not coming to work because they're not getting paid. A lot of these planes are not being maintained because a lot of the mechanics is on strike. They're not showing up to work. So that's a dangerous situation to keep getting your ass on these planes, and they may or may not stay up in the air. Okay? And a lot of y'all gonna have to learn the hard way. These planes could come crashing down, and your ass could have been sitting down somewhere. But you gotta stay in these long lines at the airport. Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's gonna be the main time everybody want to get on the airplane and go here and go there. Sit your ass down somewhere, okay? It's time to sit down somewhere. If and this is a good time. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving no way, in the way that a lot of y'all celebrate it. All of this eating, we done ate enough. Okay, our backs are wide enough. Look at mine. It's wide enough. Can you not stop eating just for one holiday? Damn. Can you not just eat your a turkey sandwich and be satisfied? This is not the time to keep on doing all this eating and all of this traveling. The people are furloughed. And even if Donald Trump say, okay, right today, the government shutdown is over. We're going to put these people back to work. We're going to pay them back pay. They still going to be fucking tired. Okay? And let's consider them. Some of them, they don't have all their coworkers. A lot of them are having to do extra work. And granted, some of them lazy and they need to be doing extra work. But some of them was doing extra work all along before the shutdown. So let's have some compassion and consideration for them. Okay, they are getting overworked. So a lot of this traveling, it don't need to be going on no way. Let's practice go sit your ass down somewhere. Okay, a lot of y'all been doing too much. You've been moving too much anyway. The streets are jam packed every day. How about we have a day of go sit your ass down somewhere? It's time to go sit down somewhere. It's too much business. It's too much rigmarole. And it makes me nervous. All of this traffic, and they all in my way. I can't get where I'm going because you got a lot of motherfuckers that's out here in the way. Just outside, just to be outside. And they cannot break themselves from being outside. And guess what? A lot of them, they the main ones, don't have no valid driver license. You the main one needs to go sit your ass down somewhere. You don't have no valid driver license. You don't have no insurance. And then get mad when the police pull you over and say, sir, ma'am, let me see your registration, your driver license, and blah, 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 blah. Then you want to challenge the police and get all in their face and threatening to get your ass beat by the police. You ain't gonna do nothing but record them and grab a few people and rally a few people to protest. And that's not gonna get you nowhere. And think about it. You could avoid getting your ass kicked by the police if you had sat your ass down. So what's wrong with sitting down in your house that you paying all that money for? Okay, some of y'all are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every month for your house or your apartment, and you never there. So essentially, you wasting money. You wasting money. And then if your job say you laid off, that's a whole lot of money you could have been unsaved. Because you're going to have to move, more than likely. You're going to have to move. And then you're going to have to pay somebody to move you. That's a lot of money. I can go on and on and on. But the point of the matter is, haven't y'all gotten tired of being outside? What the hell is outside that you feel like you're going to miss out on every day you need to be outside? Damn. I'm so glad that I'm a homebody. I don't give a damn about being outside unless I'm going to go get some grocery. And then we got Instacart for that. People will now go to the store for you. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You got Instacart, you got Grubhub, you got DoorDash, and all these other apps. Okay? You don't have to always be outside. Haven't you been outside enough? Damn. And, ooh, it's just nauseating to see all these traffic jams. lined up bumper to bumper. And it's unnecessary. Y'all better be glad that I'm not in charge, because I would sign an executive order that mandates go sit your ass down day. Okay? Could nobody come outside but the police. Okay? Nobody. Okay? Ooh, yes, it's time to activate go sit your ass down day. It's time. Because it's just too much going on. And that's an excellent way to crack down on crime. If everybody go in the house and sit your ass down. Okay? Including the criminals. Okay? Unless you commit crimes online with the computer. Okay, that's the only way that you would have an opportunity to commit some crime. If we activate the go sit your ass down day, you would just have to use the computer to commit your crime, which some of y'all doing it anyway. Okay, but anyway, it's time to stop having all this fun. Ain't y'all had fun enough? Ain't y'all had enough fun? Okay, it's time to stop ripping and running the streets, going here, going there, all this sex. Ain't y'all had enough sex? Whew, meeting up with this person, meeting up with that person, and all of this sex. Look what it's coming down to. It ain't getting y'all nowhere. Just a wet ass and a lot of diseases and a lot of babies and a lot of confusion. Ain't y'all had enough sex? I done had enough. I've been celibate for so long, I don't even miss it no more. Anything that you do without for a long time, it gets to be normal to you. And I'm a young woman. Some of these young heathens, they call 50 old, but I don't look 50. I don't sound 50. I'm not giving 50 energy. Okay, I feel like a real young woman, maybe in my 20s, but my legs and my ankles and my back, they feel 50. They feel it. They feel every bit of 50. But my point is, um, you know, I feel like a young woman, and on a certain day, I might feel my nature rising, and I might want a man, you know, to help fulfill my needs sexually. But I just tune that out, and I try to think about the goodness of God and all that God has done for me. And somebody would say, Karma Kaboom, you lying, you lying. Yes, sometimes I do give in and turn to the rose. You know what the rose. And speaking of the rose, what is my rose? Baby, the rose, it's either done get kidnapped or I done lost it. And I tried to go online on Facebook. A lot of those people on Facebook, they sell the rose on the marketplace. And I inboxed about 5 of them trying to replace my rose because I don't know where the rose went. And child, ain't none of them inboxed me back. So I think of that as an omen. Maybe that's a sign that I don't need the rose. Maybe that's a sign that I don't need it. And like I said, anytime you do without a thing long enough, it becomes normal. So now that I done did without the rose, and it hurts so bad, my hand gets so tired. Or maybe my hand done got too old to use. You know what I mean? But it takes so much work to use your hand. Oh. And now the devil, I'm gonna blame it on the devil. Now the devil done brought this man into my life out of nowhere. I said, oh no, I can't afford to put these 50-year-old legs all around this man's neck and shoulder blades and get caught up and entangled in all this sin and lust. Ooh, God been too good to me. And I just can't turn my back on God. That's a lot of back to turn on God. I just can't turn my back on God for all of this sex. Ooh. And I ain't had it in so long. You know I'm going to do it and do it a long time and do it good after all this time without it. So I said, ooh, I just cannot risk my salvation and in place with God for having all this hot sex. Woo! And baby, I might burn the house down. I may burn the house down with all of this heat that's rising in me. And I ain't had it in so long, in so many years. And I let somebody's son get his hands on me and turn me every which way but loose. Ooh, I just can't afford to turn my back on God while I get hit from the back and things. I can't let him do it. Lick on me and suck on me and all of that. And the last thing I want to do is become a single mother. Because you know he's going to leave me. More than likely he's going to leave me if I tell him I done oops and got pregnant. Because we done got caught up in all this sex. And we didn't think about no protection as far as birth control or whatever. The last thing I want to do is become a single mother at this age. And a diabetic pregnancy, what's the chances of that being a healthy pregnancy? The child might come out retarded. And I just don't, you know. Then I might have to get on food stamps. I might have to sign up for Section 8. And child, the wait list I hear is long as me and Rick Ross titties. And child, when you need some help, you need it now. I don't have time to get on no waiting list. Okay? I'm gonna want to eat. The baby gonna want to eat. The baby gonna be hot. I don't want to sign up for that. So the thing that I need to remind myself, you need to obey God. Okay? God said don't be fornicating and committing adultery and all of that. I need to stay focused. I got to stay focused on the goodness of God. God been too good to me. He been too good to me. He done brought me a long way, and then I'm going to turn around and have sex in the same house that he done blessed. God done blessed me with. Carmen Cabone, how dare you? And God, last night, he was looking upside my head. I could feel God. Have you ever felt God looking upside your head like, I know you lying. For real? You gonna go out there and sin after all that I done did for you? Ooh, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad for even considering it. I should be so committed and loyal to God and have such an allegiance to God that I can't even be tempted by the proposition of the other side. I shouldn't even be texting this nigga. I shouldn't even be having a phone conversation with him. I should have never gave him my phone number, first of all. So we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested in these days. In the days ahead, we're going to be tested. Some of us going to pass the test. Some of us going to flunk the test. We're going to have to take the test again and again and again. Because we ain't learned our lesson. We hard-headed. We selfish. We want to do things our way instead of doing things God's way. Because we think doing it our way is so fun and it feels so good. Get out of your feelings and walk how God wants you to walk. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say to you. Okay, so it's time to stop having all this fun. And we got to start worshiping and obeying God. For real, for real. Not just when it's convenient for you. Not when you want to. Or when you feel like it. Okay? Get out of your feelings. And walk in the righteousness of God. I got to even tell myself that. Okay? And stop depending on the government. And we got to govern ourselves accordingly. Okay? Stop being lazy and low down. And look to the hills which cometh our help, which is God. Okay? And I also think this might be the setup for martial law. A lot of y'all been threatening to go in them stores and steal and knock down the employees in the store and this, that, and the other. And guess what? Donald Trump ain't said nothing, have he? He ain't responded to all them threats. Him and his administration, they've been listening. And they saying that without saying it, they saying, tell us more. They want y'all to go in them stores and in the street and act a fool. Because Donald Trump, he itching. He's itching to activate martial law. Yeah. Don't think he done put them police all over the streets for nothing. Just for decoration. He put them police on the street just for you. That want to go out there and act a fool. He wants y'all to act a fool in droves, in mass, because he got something for you that he want to do anyway. In my opinion, they've been talking about it for years. I think they want to activate martial law. They want to drop the other shoe. Literally. We're waiting on the other shoe to drop. And it's only going to take the people to activate civil unrest. They already got the police in position all over the place. They already got the National Guard in position in major cities. They waiting on you to act a fool. And in a few weeks, y'all might act a fool. Because you ain't going to get your turkey dressing. You ain't going to get your peach cobbler and your bundt cakes and all that right there that you used to getting every Thanksgiving. You ain't able to travel because you ain't got no fucking money. Your job done laid you the fuck off. And that's gonna touch you emotionally. Black people, they get real emotional. And then they start showing out and acting a fool. So, you ain't got no bond money if they gonna lock your black ass up. You need to calm down and just lay down and go to sleep. Take your nap. Stop thinking about how mad you are and how hungry you are. Just lay down and take a nap. Even if you have to go get you some hot tea or some kind of pills to make you go to sleep, lay down and go to sleep. Don't think about acting fool because they gonna lock your black ass up if you go out there acting a fool and stealing. And you ain't got no bond money. So think about it. They said this is not a good time to get locked up because it's overcrowded in the jails. Because the federal task force members, they've been doing their damn job and they've been doing it good. They've been locking up thousands and thousands of people for this, that, and the other. So the jails are overcrowded. The inmates not able to take baths allegedly like they need to. They stinking. They say it's real stinking in there. And if you like me, you can't stand body odor. That's not the place you want to go. Because they say it's real stinking in there right now. And they got bed bugs and all kind of bugs and things like that in there. Allegedly, you can't even get a cup of water if you wanted to. And, it's just overcrowding in the jails. And a lot of the staff allegedly are quitting. And there was a counselor, y'all probably heard about her on the news. She want to tell her story. She said she quit. But I got a feeling that she probably was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing. And she probably got pumped and dumped, if you know what I mean. And you know how these whores are when they get pumped and dumped. Then they want to tell their story. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. It's given she probably got pumped and dumped. Now she want to tell her story. And I'm looking at how she getting naked all over Facebook like she on OnlyFans. That's what she needs to be on OnlyFans. and just got her pussy all in the camera and ass and titties. But she want to tell her story about how bad the environment was at the jail. I think she been getting some attention from some guys, and you know how these females are. They so attention starved, and then it only take one or two dudes to get in their inbox and send them a dingaling pic, baby. Then they want to be a porn star all over social media and try to prostitute themselves. And a lot of these girls, they not even qualified to be no prostitute. I mean, they all washed up, especially if you got a hallway between your legs, and you know what I mean by that. If you got a Grand Canyon between your legs, you don't even qualify to be a prostitute, okay? Ooh. But anyway, and then I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. But I will say this. If you lazy in bed, you don't make a good prostitute either. So don't even consider it. Don't even consider it. You're gonna have to do a lot of work for that little funky $40. And I think they probably gonna go lower than the $40. Okay. And I wouldn't make a good whore, prostitute, or whatever. I wouldn't make a good one because I consider myself lazy. Real lazy. I only want to do stuff when I want to do it. And you know, these men, they're not going to tolerate that. And there's certain things that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't make a good whore at all, a good prostitute. And then I'd probably be charging them way too much. And then the other girls charging them too little. So that's gonna cut into my proceeds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna consider that as an occupation during these tough times. You know, I don't had a lot of jobs and a lot of hats on my head, but that's one that I probably will never have. Prostitution. I wouldn't make a good prostitute at all. I really wouldn't. But anyway, yeah. I think this situation is a good opportunity and a setup for martial law. And I also think that this is an opportunity for Elon Musk to activate what his intentions are, in my opinion, as it relates to this digital currency and the chip. You know, they've been talking about the chip for a long time. You're going to have to get this chip. And I think they've been chipping these children, these babies, a long time, years before now, in my opinion. Think about it. When the baby's born, it's separated from the mama. You don't know what they doing to that baby in the other room down the hall. I think they've been chipping them babies. That's just my opinion. And I think, you know, they're going to require this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they already trying to introduce this in Europe. And they having a lot of protests because a lot of people are protesting and boycotting the digital currency mandate. And I support that protest. You know, I don't want to be involved in that either. And the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, even though the American government, they are supposed to be the richest, we're supposed to be the richest country in the world. The fact of the matter is, the dollar allegedly has been losing its value and its strength. A lot of the other countries have been adopting other alternative currency. And a lot of people are saying we're no longer the superpower that we once was. So that presents a lot of challenges. And, you know, the days ahead are uncertain. So we are moving into a whole new different world than what we're accustomed to and what we once knew. So they're not going to tell us everything. But the handwriting is all over the walls. If you're paying attention, the handwriting is all over the wall where this is leading to. Okay, so this is the perfect time, if you have been thinking about it, to be self-sufficient. If you're able to grow your own food, I recommend that you grow your own food and become self-sufficient and independent as possible. moving into the country or being in the country is the wave right now. And if you're able to get into the country, I would really recommend it. You know, you could have your own well water and grow your own food and, be in a better position than if you were in the city. And yeah, we're going into a whole nother phase right now. And so many people are not able to cope because they're not used to this. They're used to always having somebody to rely on to give them their food and give them this and give them that. And when you rely on somebody else for your food, you are giving them the opportunity to cut off your food at will. And you know you're at a bad disadvantage. You at a real disadvantage when you put your livelihood and the way that you get food and housing in somebody else's hand. Okay, and so many of these people have been doing this for years and decades and years and decades, from one generation to the next. And that is a very big mistake. Okay? So you really don't have anybody to be mad at but yourself in that regard. Okay? And this is a big lesson that a lot of people are having to learn. And it is what it is. Okay? So, anyway, let me read your comments and then I'm going to end this live. And thank you all so much for joining this live. And Chill says things happen for a reason. Of course. Yes, things happen for a reason. Okay. Um Hello everybody that's joined the live. How are you all doing today? Yes, Black Cat says, I'm so happy to see you housed. God is good. Hallelujah. 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 God is good. Glory to God. Yes. Did I get that birth time? What do you mean by that, Black Cat? You asking me, did you get that birth time? I don't know what you mean. Please elaborate. Um, who is this? Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Daniel is asking or saying, hey, Carmen, Miss Carmen, just want to say you're looking good and I hope things are going well for you. I'm glad you came on today. I needed this message. So you've done good today. You're welcome, Daniel. Okay. Um, I guess we'll conclude this live. Thank you all so much, those of you that have tuned into this live. And I'm hopeful that you all have benefited from this live and it has uplifted you in some kind of way and motivated you in another way. And I really appreciate you all so much. And I feel like you appreciate me too. And just keep the faith and never doubt the possibilities of God. Okay? And don't turn your back on God no matter what. No matter how hard times feel. And as someone said in the chat, all things happen for a reason. Okay? Yes. So don't turn your backs on God. Just keep the faith in God and just use this time to develop a closer relationship with God, okay? And God is faithful and God will see us through. I'm a living witness to that, okay? Sometimes you gotta wait. And, for a long time I was homeless, staying in my car. And God still provided. God still made a way. I'm not going to say that I didn't cry. I didn't, some days feel hopeless and like giving up. I didn't cry. A few times I did cry. And I kept the faith, okay? because I know it all belongs to God anyway. And let me say this before I end this live. You know, the other day, I think it was Saturday, a lot of y'all probably saw this. We had a lot of fog, heavy, heavy fog. And I'm hearing that it was so many places, so many different states. And I thought that was strange that this heavy fog was experienced in so many different states at the same time. And it wasn't like ordinary fog, it was so thick. And we didn't have any rain, it was no threat of rain, it was no forecast of rain. And you would think later in the day it would dissipate. As time progressed, it did not dissipate for a long time. And I had my windows down while I was driving after I left my job. And I'm thinking that possibly they sprayed something in the air. And we know who they are, so I don't even need to elaborate, right? I think they sprayed something because after that I experienced feeling so nauseated, and I still feel nauseated. So that was like 3 days of this nauseating feeling. I pray they didn't hit us again, but I got a feeling they hit us again. So I just been asking God to help heal me, and I pray that I didn't get none of that stuff in me. If that's what it is, ugh, child, the devil is out here and it's so busy and so garbage. And it just won't go somewhere and sit down and just be a defeated foe. I can't speak for nobody else, but let me tell you something. I'm so sick of Satan. I don't know what to do. I'm so sick of him. And it just won't stop. Just won't quit. And it tried this and it tried that and it just But God is still powerful and God is still on the throne and Satan is still defeated. So that gives me hope and gives me motivation for continuing from day to day. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all once again for tuning into this live. And I appreciate you so much. And we just got to keep the faith. Don't turn our backs on God and just stay prayerful and prayed up. Holla at your girl. Peace.